Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and today I wanted to discuss the importance of crossfires in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are a solo queue player or whether you play in a 5-stack on the daily basis. Either way, crossfires play an extremely important part in Siege, and I wanted to break down exactly what I mean by this and how you can bag yourself more kills inside of the game. So first up, I want to give a bit of a shout out to Reaper here. If you don't subscribe to Reaper, go and check out his channel. He does some absolutely phenomenal breakdowns of Pro League play, what goes on and why the teams are doing what they're doing, and whether it's the best move or not. You know, it's a really good breakdown and it's a really in-depth analysis without going too far, if that makes sense. I think it's very easy for content creators to get caught up inside of like numbers and stats and stuff like that. So definitely go and check him out.
So he just moved away from the corner and the nade doesn't hit him. But that is all part of G2's plan.
Now, in a recent one of his videos, he was covering G2 and the way that they played inside of a game against Virtus.pro over on Consular. And what they did, without boring you to tears, is they set up this phenomenal play where it was fairly straightforward from the off. They threw a grenade over the top of the wall into Pro to try and clear out the smoke that was inside of there. However, they actually had someone set up over on the Pro Balk windows to punch it, knowing that it was going to force him out of position. Setups like this and crossfires like this, where you are focusing on one person and someone else attacks you from the side.
Clever girl.
This leaves you so vulnerable. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, this kind of team play makes all the difference when it comes to Siege. It really does. And I know that a lot of you are probably sat there right now thinking, well, that's great, but I solo queue. I can't do that if I'm solo queuing. And I would love to tell you that I think you're wrong. So with Siege, obviously, you get silhouettes of your teammates. And although they may not be the best teammates in the world if you're solo queuing, what you can do is you can actually watch what they're doing. You can watch where they're pushing and how they're doing stuff through the walls and actually sort of try and coordinate yourself with them to push from a slightly different area. But I'll be the first to admit it, this will be a lot easier if you're working in a duo, a trio, or if you're lucky enough like myself to be able to play in a 5-stack. Now, when it comes to defense, this is the easiest way to do it. On attack, it's quite difficult because you have to be fluid, you have to be able to react to what's going on, whereas with defense you can set up crossfires through your site setup. The initial prep phase isn't just about putting reinforcements up, it's about where you put them up. It's about creating lines of sight, it's about creating punch holes, murder holes, it's about creating all sorts of rotates and setting up the site for how it's going to work best for you. Now, if you've ever tuned into one of my live streams in the past, you will know that I play in a 5-stack and we love to get cute with sites. We love playing off sites. We love taking teams to a site that they're not used to attacking and that we are ready for. We have already got a strategy of some sort set up and we already know how we're going to play it. In this particular game, we were doing exactly that. We had gone to the master bedroom over on Clubhouse. We'd gone there first. We didn't go to cache server. We didn't go downstairs to the stronger sites. We went to one of the weaker sites, but because we knew what we were doing and how we were setting up, we were kind of banking on the enemy team not really knowing the best way to attack it. Now, it's in this site setup and preparation that what we've done is we've actually gone ahead and set up multiple crossfires here. So I'm playing as the Castle, Red is playing as the Maestro, and we got Vinny playing as the Jaeger. You can see by this wall just here, we've actually shot a load of holes into it so that as Castle, I can push out into construction and cover through, while Maestro can also look onto the doorway. That's two of us looking, and then Vinny is over here, and he can look all the way through those holes as well. So that's 3 people covering one entry point from various different areas of the map. As you'll see here, as Ash starts pushing forward, Red's going to be the first to get a line of sight onto her, but I'm pushing out further into construction to be able to look and hold that sort of quite an aggressive angle. The second she peeks into my line of sight, I start shooting. As you'll see here, it's a clean line of sight. Now, I don't want to overexpose myself here. I start shooting, dip back into cover, and Red with the crossfire kills that Ash. So she was busy dealing with me, she's busy looking in the wrong direction, and Red comes out and shoots her. Now, as I've rotated off, I've pre-fired through and instantly got the twitch, and Red is also holding through that same door, I don't know why the camera's wobbling so much here, to catch the Hibana as she jumps in through the window. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out for him. Honestly, in this situation, if he'd have pulled back a little bit further, I think it would have worked out better, because the Hibana, if she's trying to deal with him, she's going to have to push in further, and it's going to allow me to get the kill. If that makes sense. So we're just holding crossfire. She has to look at one of us. She can't look at both of us. So red got a little bit over-aggressive there, but it is what it is. Either way, the crossfire itself worked, and I think that that's a really good showcase. Now, in this situation, Vinny and I still do have some form of a crossfire, but it's a very shallow one, and she's going to get into the cache room before Vin can really do anything. So it's at this point here that I decide I'm actually going to rotate off. I'm trying to keep her busy, and I figure out, you know what? This isn't the play. We're overextending here. Let's fall off. So Vinny drops, and I fall off into logistics. Now, by doing this, the Hibana is still going to try and get information. She's still going to try and push through here. She's wasted utility. Or, well, I say wasted. She's used her utility, so that's less for her to use elsewhere. But as the round goes on, she eventually becomes a little bit impatient and just starts walking through with no intel. I get a really clean, easy kill through the rotate, and I instantly move. Now, at this point here, we know where Thermite is because he's just killed Vinny. So I have moved towards the doorway, but notice what Mav does here from the bathroom. So I'll go ahead and showcase this. So Vinny moves up the stairs, and as he moves up, he gets killed by the Thermite. But that gives us all the info that we need to know exactly where he is. Now, with the castle door over on Jim and all of the bathroom wall reinforced and mute jammed, there's no way that Thermite is getting through here, and he is stuck over in this part of the map. So what we do here is both Mav and myself adjust our positioning so that as he moves down the corridor, he's going to be in line of both of us. Both of us are going to have a line of sight onto him. Now, as you'll see here, my angle that I'm holding is quite aggressive. I want Thermite to be able to push past my doorway before he can see me. So I actually adjust this and tuck in tighter into the bookcase to force him further out, meaning that Mav's going to get a line of sight at the same time as I do. This is really important to consider. It genuinely is. But your positioning can make all the difference. Now, both of us have extremely low health, but all we need is one person to be able to land these shots. So as this round progresses, the next couple of seconds, Thermite becomes an absolute zoomer, but we're just being patient as hell. And you'll see here, he just comes running into the site, completely catches me off guard when he does arrive, but Mav's there to pick it up. So it doesn't matter that I miss my shots, because we have set up the crossfire for this exact reason. There is a reason pro players do this. You will very often see it at the end of the round, as it's coming down to it, they all readjust and reposition themselves so that they are holding all these respective crossfires, and they can cover various different angles. Being able to trade kills back and forth is huge inside of Siege. Yes, you can run around and you can probably frag out, maybe even get aces here and there, but as you start moving up through the ranks, you need to be able to pay attention to where your teammates are. You need to be able to pay attention to what they're looking at and how you can assist them or how they can assist you. If they're holding an angle through a door, there's nothing wrong with you holding that same angle or a similar one, as long as you're not next to them. That will afford you the opportunity to actually trade out kills, and attackers won't be able to take both of you on. Anyway, I'm afraid that's about it for today. That's kind of all I wanted to cover in the video. Just the use of crossfires and the fact that you actually have to think about the site setup. Don't just reinforce the first wall you see. Don't just open up the first wall you see. Actually spend some time learning the maps and figuring out different lines of sight that are going to catch people out. You know, what walls are going to allow you to see 3 different entry points from the safety of one area? How can you assist those that are set up in different areas of the map? Obviously, this showcase was just on Clubhouse. However, there are several other maps. In fact, every single site in the game you can do this on. It just takes a bit of thinking. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, that's going to be it. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting the thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, stay reckless and relentless.